Warm greetings and a tight virtual hug to the entire Turkish series stars family. Settle in, because you've just landed in the one place where glitter meets truth, where we peel back the glossy layer and ask what really happens when the cameras go dark and the house grows quiet. If anyone thought the final days of 2025 would drift by without a tremor, they underestimated the power of Turkish celebrities to surprise us. After a year crowded with premieres, trophies, and blinding flashes, one question kept echoing in our minds: who are our icons when the spotlight fades? Today on Turkish series stars, that question finds its answer with two names that define on-screen romance and off-screen magnetism: Ebru and Akın. What we're going to explore is not just a gallery of images, it's a bridge into their private sanctuary, a rare look at a bond that has kept millions under its spell. Before we plunge headfirst into all the feelings, do us a huge favor: make sure you're subscribed, tap that bell so nothing slips by, and if you appreciate storytelling that goes beyond rumor into heart and detail, hit the join button. Your membership helps Turkish series stars stay independent and bold, and it gives you a front row seat at our inner circle. Ready to hear what no one else has dared to show you? Let's begin. These final pages of 2025 are now etched in Turkey's digital memory, not because of scandal, but because of sincerity. Just when critics and gossip columns were whispering that perhaps the pair had cooled, or that publicity fatigue had set in, Ebru and Akın did something few expected. They opened the vault, not to stir chaos, but to spill pieces of a lived-in, unvarnished truth. What they revealed wasn't crafted by a social media strategist or approved by a brand team. They called it their hidden reel, a treasure trove of everyday moments kept safe on their phones, guarded against the noise of public opinion. The footage plays like a tender home chronicle, beginning far from Istanbul's relentless hum in a place where nature is allowed to speak in its own calm language. That first sequence is a quiet shock to the system: Ebru, unguarded and gloriously bare-faced, illuminated only by morning light. We're used to seeing her in couture, styled to perfection, her looks dissected by fashion blogs. But there she is, skin-breathing, eyes soft, a portrait of confidence and ease. No filters, no angles designed to flatter, just a woman unafraid of being seen as she is. And right beside her, Akın, his bright laugh captured with crystal clarity, tumbling out in a way that fills the room and somehow the screen. The mood is unruffled, almost touchable, proof that their greatest luxury isn't found in couture or sweets but in being fully themselves, unwatched and unperformed. Now, Turkish series stars family, pause and think. In a culture obsessed with perfection, how much does it matter to see your favorites in a state this human, this vulnerable? Tell us in the comments. Your voices power this channel. And if this kind of close reading moves you, don't forget to like the video as you listen. From there, the hidden reel pivots into a domestic rom-com better than any scripted scene. The set is not a studio, it's their kitchen, the warm heart of shared life. The segment that has already melted the internet shows Akın in full culinary warrior mode, determined to pull off a surprise dessert. He concentrates, measures, adjusts the oven like a pro, and for a moment you're sure it'll be a triumph. Then reality, with its mischievous grin, steps in. Out comes a cake with a dramatic tan. Let's call it artistically overdone. In many homes, that could trigger irritation or teasing that stings. But their response? That's where the magic lives. Ebru doesn't scold, she dissolves into contagious laughter, crossing the distance to wrap him in an embrace that reframes the failure as a shared joke. Akın, with a wry half-smile that belongs in a movie, shrugs and says, "If flavor fails, let intent be the sugar." Instantly, couples everywhere borrowed the line. That tiny scene whispers a big secret: strength comes from knowing how to laugh at the mess and store it as a memory you'll both love retelling when the years pile up. Quick pit stop: if you want more deep dives like this, that join button is right there. With a simple monthly pledge, you keep Turkish series stars fearless and fair, and you get exclusive badges that set you apart in the comments. We'd love to welcome you into our members' lounge. The story keeps moving, now tracking a rhythm of wellness that breaks the myth of celebrity ease. No velvet ropes here. The training clips are raw with effort, sweat, red faces, that familiar burning in the lungs, and threaded through it all, a shared determination. Akın becomes coach and co-conspirator, quipping to the camera about having the toughest gig in the world as Ebru pushes through the last reps of an exhausting set. What stands out isn't the weight on the bar but the way they lean toward one another's limits, offering that extra ounce of belief. It's partnership in motion, the kind that builds not just muscle but resilience, the kind that follows you out of the gym and into every complicated day. And then, as if we'd flipped the page in a winter storybook, the setting turns to a forest cloaked in untouched snow. There, their other companions take center stage. Their dogs, the furry co-stars who steal scenes whenever they appear. We see Akın dashing across the white canvas like a kid who forgot to grow up, the dogs in delighted pursuit, and over the image Ebru's voice floats, "My beautiful little whirlwinds." She sounds as if she's smiling. The simplicity of it, the crunch of snow, the joyful chase, the air so cold it pricks, feels like the precise ingredient for their happiness. You glimpse a tenderness that often hides beneath tuxedos and gowns. The kind of kindness that animals recognize before humans do. But all of this, as precious as it is, turns out to be prologue. Because the clip swells into its emotional crest at the threshold of a new year, the arrival of 2026. The vibe pivots, the hoodies and boots are traded for evening elegance, candlelight softens every edge, and romance hums in the background like electricity before a storm. They wait for midnight wrapped around each other, time loosening its grip as the seconds fall away. And there, watch closely, comes the detail experts are now replaying, the way Akın's fingers drift into Ebru's hair, a touch so delicate it says everything. Not control. Not display. Devotion. They share a look that might as well be a script for 1,000 dramas and still say more, a look that insists the flame hasn't dimmed but grown braver. Just when you expect the reel to tuck itself to bed on that perfect note, a line of text blooms over the screen and sets every newsroom buzzing. The words read, "The next surprise is nearer than you imagine." With one sentence, the rumor mill finds fresh fuel. The practical minds say it hints at a new joint project, perhaps a series or a film that would send ratings into orbit. But the tone of the reel, intimate as a whisper, nudges the heart to hope bigger. Could this be the soft launch of wedding bells? Or, why not say it out loud, a hint that their family might soon grow? The serenity in their final frames, the protective stillness of their embrace, has many believing they're ready for their next life chapter. Ebru Şahin and Akın Akinozu have thrown a pebble into the lake of public opinion and now watch the ripples multiply. They chose mystery, and we're here for it. On Turkish series Stars, we'll keep every antenna up for a glint of a ring, a confirming caption, a press note quietly posted at dawn. You'll hear it here before anywhere else. Until then, the conversation is yours, wedding, baby, or blockbuster. What do you think 2026 is holding just out of sight for them? Your comments aren't just noise for the algorithm, they guide what we chase and how we tell it. If this intimate, cinematic breakdown spoke to you, hit like, share it with fellow fans, and consider pressing join to fuel more exclusives like this. Thank you for trusting us to be your companion through every whisper and reveal. Stay close, stay curious, and keep your eyes on Turkish series Stars. We'll be right here, ready to press play on the next chapter.